Today let's talk about Reddit Place, where a big canvas appeared in the Reddit website and people can draw whatever they want to, whatever they wish to, unleash a tremendous amount of creativity to show to the whole world. It only appeared in 4 days in the early April of 2022, but wow, it's really attracting quite a number of people throughout the internet. What makes Reddit Place so interesting is that it's not only internet culture is all around, but also the country's subreddit also join in and show what is the best thing they have in their own country and want to share with the world. And interesting enough, some of the country's drawing also being erased by trolls and also some streamers who want to have their own place in such a limited space. So some countries try to defend it, I mean literally defend it. There are about more than 80 countries appeared in the Reddit place. So why not we take a journey or a tour looking at these countries' drawings one by one and see what are the interesting things we can see what the country want to share with the whole world. And first and foremost, let's start with the country where I live now, Malaysia. Malaysia choose to draw a national flag. We call here is Jalur Gemilang, and with the Petronas Twin Towers, currently the tallest twin towers in the world, and previously the tallest tower in the world as well. And also there is a little drawing of the Great Hornbill, the rhinoceros hornbill. This is actually the symbol of the state of Sarawak, and unrelated, there are Sailor Moon also right here. On the left side is the pesky little southern neighbor, which is Singapore, together with, let's zoom closely, a carefully drawn and outline, and together with the Changi Airport Tower and also Marina Bay Sands, and also the Merlion. Merlion is actually a mythical creature with lion head and also fish body. It actually just a recent innovation. It's not really like a century old thing. It's actually just appeared after Singapore independence. Where the lionfish thing come from? Merlion is actually a combination of two things related with the history of Singapore. Singapore used to be a collection of fishing villages that used to line throughout the southern coast before being developed into a global entrepôt, global port and financial center that we know today. Whereas the lion heads can be explained from the original name of Singapore. In Malay language, people in Malaysia, in Indonesia and Brunei, and also Malay Singaporeans call this country Singapura, which means the city of lion. Lion head and fish body combined together to become a symbol of Singapore. Okay, that makes sense. And here is the flag of Bangladesh together with the National Independence National Maritime Monument on the half of it, and also the Bengali National Language Monument located in the University of Dhaka, together with the year of independence 1971. And there's a little cute drawing like here is the Bengal tiger, an endangered animal usually roam around southwest of Bangladesh. Let's take a look at this big drawing of what France already made, and it's already been covered by so many unrelated things after all. It's actually one of the attempt of France to make a big footprint as much as possible like what they did in the 19th century and early 20th century in Africa. What the French did is drawing a big Arc de Triomphe, and also some destroy drawing here by a bunch of bots and also other redditors who already attacked this drawing. It's supposed to be like a sum of the but there's some remnants here. Maybe can show a picture here. It's a remnant of a rat who can cook delicious food. There is a famous film about it. And this is the Musée du Louvre, the famous museum in the middle of the capital city Paris, and unrelated the logo of BTS. Hiding behind is the silhouette photo of the famous footballer in France history, Zinedine Zidane. While the Switzerland do its thing, being a neutral country, just stand aside along hiding in the corner and this is one of the attempt of Canadians to draw a proper Canadian maple leaf flag, one of many. The Netherlands draw one thin line of the Dutch flag, and actually they also have another drawing in the upper side of this place canvas showing the national public broadcaster NOS, Stroopwafel, and also the windmill. This windmill is actually a brand new windmill to generate electricity. Actually, Netherlands is much more stereotypically known with much more famous medieval style windmill, which traditionally used to grind grain and corn to make flour. And there is also a little flag of Armenia right here, and also the Scandinavian countries. This is actually small. There are another side of the canvas which is really big. And there is a little drawing of Thailand right here with Thai tea and also the man can see little closer and how it looks like. Yeah, really small. Thai. It doesn't look like Thai tea. It's more look like a cup of. Is it looking like a Thai tea? Vietnam meanwhile draw the national flag and also the outline of the country, which is a long country. And this is the fourth flag of Lithuania, which means there are another 3 flags of Lithuania scattered around this place. And Colombia took quite a size of the place in the canvas, and they drew the outline of the country Colombia, the famous export coffee, a little dancer, a brand of alcohol, and also one of the minibus, which is Chiva. Chiva is actually like a colorful minibus decorated with all the paintings and artwork stuff, zigzagging across the major cities and also across the rural areas. Actually, this type of public transportation is common in many developing countries. I went to Indonesia and also Thailand, and this type of transportation is a vital link for the people living in the rural area and also in the big cities, because not all places have a efficient transit network, rail system, and also bus, even like the proper modern bus. So this type of transportation is like important to link the town and also rural areas because the movement is like irregular, unlike the modern buses, which often like only appear like 1 or twice every day. This one can appear wherever you wish to. Just pick up phone and call, they will come to pick you up. And also cute capybara with the Colombian flag on its body. And this is the flag of Senegal right here. And India drew another Bengal tiger, this one is bigger. Bengal tiger actually live between India and Bangladesh, 2 countries. Actually, the protected area of Bengal tigers straddle between the Indian state of West Bengal and also the western part of Bangladesh. So the area is called Sundarban Tiger Wildlife Reserve. So the tiger is freely moving around this protected area and like across the border. It's actually a symbol for both countries as well. This is the Gate of India, located in the capital city, New Delhi. It is modeled after the Gate of Bombay in the city of Mumbai, where there is a lotus and common greeting in India, Namaste. Where other countries took like one box or one strip in this place canvas to draw, German decided to do something really crazy, which is take a long strip of the canvas throughout the whole thing, which means like from this side to that side is filled with all the things German, and a lot of drawing is also unrelated as well. And this one is a children's cartoon, Captain Blobber and Himblut. And this is a Köln Cathedral and also Berlin the TV Tower, which combined together, it is suspiciously looks similar with the skylines of Kuala Lumpur. And interesting enough, the signature hand gesture of a former Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, is also being drawn right here. Maybe like her biggest legacy is her hand. Not wanting to lose with Germany, Belgium also decided to take one strip of almost across the canvas right here. Started with the rocket that Tintin used in the comic, one of the series comic of Tintin used to fly to the moon, and also the famous kid statue who picks up the bypasses in the city of Brussels. And this is amalgamation of the two symbols of Belgian communities, which are Flanders and also Walloon. Flanders use a lion as a symbol, hence the lion head, whereas the Walloon community use roosters. Same with the France. So, yeah, this singer, Stromae, he originally came from Rwanda and then migrated to Belgium and lived there. There is one popular song from Stromae. I think the title is called Papaute, calling about the absence of his father during his children and teenage years. And after time passed by, he commented that he give a explanation that actually the songs explaining a part of the Rwandan genocide happened in the year 1993. And this is the flag of El Salvador, and a tiny flag of Mexico, Ecuador, Paraguay, Guatemala, Bolivia, because they all write the name of countries right here. This hand was drawn by the Turkish streamer who just bombarded this drawing into other like mini pixel. But there are an interesting story about this hand printing. This hand printing looks really similar with the painting in the cave of the hands located in the southern Argentina, specifically in Patagonia. And this painting of hand actually depicts the people, the native ethnic of people who already no longer live there, which is the ethnic of Tehuelche. Tehuelche people is the indigenous people in the Patagonia, used to roam around, and when the other people from the old world especially came to Argentina, they brought the new things, they bring new animals, technologies, and most disastrous of all, disease. Most, if not almost all, of the Tehuelche people instead of die with hunger because of the change of the environment, because of die with the clashes with the new coming immigrant who landed in Argentina, they mostly die because of the disease. As such, the last indigenous Tehuelche died in the year 1965, and this is the only remnant of the extinct people that we know today. And this is the drawing of Anitkabir, the mausoleum of Kemal Atatürk in Ankara, Turkey. And what are these little people doing right here? If there is award for the best drawing of a country throughout all this ready place canvas, the first place should be given to Mexico, because Mexico decided to draw like really neatly and precisely and so intricately design drawings that is actually really like hard to defend, unlike other small pixels and also the big ones. And secondly, we can see clearly what the drawings are. And the left side is the Aztec calendar of sun found in Tenochtitlan in the year 1979, if I'm not mistaken. It is actually found nearby the temple, the great temples of Tenochtitlan, which is today located in the smack middle of Mexico City. Meanwhile, here is the portrait of Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz. She is the nun who lived in Mexico in around 17th century, and she is acclaimed for the poem and also literary works. However, during the 17th century Mexico and also in 17th century world, women are discouraged to expose themselves to the public, wider world, especially the nuns. The nuns should be hiding from the public sight, especially men. And such, the works of Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz were hidden for quite a long time, probably 100 years or more. And she is often falsely attributed into another writers, often men. But now, after all her works were discovered back, and she is reclaimed as one of the greatest writer Mexico ever had. And also, she also appeared in the one of the Mexican peso banknotes. And this is decoration for Dia de Muertos, the Day of the Dead, usually on late November. Meanwhile, Croatia decided to draw Professor Baltazar, a popular cartoon, and also one of the ceramic found in this country, provided that the Croatia is being inhabited since the last thousand of years. And this is Serbia with this with Church of Sava, and this is Slovenia. What Slovenia choose to draw this time? Boyan the bear. Also the cartoon for Slovenia. And this is Slovakia. Quite odd because Croatia, Serbia, Slovenia, and another country you cannot see right here, it is all used to be part of a former Yugoslavia, but Slovakia is somehow like entered to the party together with a bridge and also palace and also some mountains. Indonesia, despite of this successfully claimed a small size of box, it successfully draw a whole archipelago of Indonesia. So all the main islands draw here, and also the emblem of the country itself showing Garuda. This is another flag of Croatia. This is Palestine, and the whole thing island, including Taito, the potato chip brand, and the old flag. And the old flag of the Celtic world, which this one is Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Isle of Man. This one is This one is Cornwall, Breton. It looks similar with the United States Breton flag. Breton is located in western France. And Bosnia, together with the Mostar Bridge and also the mascot for Winter Olympic in the year 1984 in Sarajevo. And obviously Bosnia don't want to sit together nearby with Serbia for obvious reasons. And 3 flags of the Baltic countries, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. This is the 3rd flag. There are 2 more to go. It is such an amazement that the Philippines, together with Indonesia, being an archipelagic countries with many islands, can draw such as intricate silhouette of the whole country together with the Reddit logo of the Philippines. This group is quite crazy in their community. The second strip of Belgium show much more commonly known Belgian things, for example the Smurf, Tintin, Belgian waffles, and also chocolates, and also some fries with the mayonnaise on top. Chile decided to draw the national flag, and also instead of drawing the silhouette of the country in the proper geographic location, they just turn it so it can fit the whole long country from this top of the northern part up to the nearby Antarctic Ocean, and also with the Andes Mountains. And what else we can get here? Empanadas, red wine, and also a little cute mammal called pudu. Canada attempt to draw a maple leaf is quite almost successful here, and together with the all flag of the provinces and also the territories of Canada. And this is another strip of France that successfully colonized, together with the beautifully drawn, much more famous Eiffel Towers. And there's a Peru right here, and another Peru with a llama, and also this one is a Inca Cola. Inca Cola was made with the real coca leaves, unlike the much more global Coca-Cola, because cola leaves is highly restricted outside its native grounds of South American Andes, for example, like in Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. Because if it fall into the wrong hand, cola leaves usually can be processed into cocaine, a much more common drug substance. So that is why like some of the drinks or beverages with the real coca leaves as an ingredients were never found anywhere else except in Peru and also other Andes countries. And also how many Peruvian flags right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And also this Machu Picchu. This is, I think, is a Machu Picchu, one of the famous UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world. Recently, Machu Picchu names has been discovered. It is not called Machu Picchu by the ancient Inca people, but it is called Huayna Picchu. But then, because everyone knows the name Machu Picchu better, so the name just stuck like that. And this is a Swiss flag together with a dairy cow and also some chocolate, Swiss chocolate. And there is a little box right here representing the Principality of Liechtenstein. A country that the size is so little, like sandwiched between Switzerland and Austria. And oh, this is another strip of Germany. The most interesting part here is the ICE thing, the Intercity Express Autobahn system, which is interesting enough. One of the very few roads in the world that has no speed limit. And interesting enough, even without any speed limit in the German Autobahn, the rate of road accident and fatalities is quite low compared with other countries with enforced speed limit, which is quite interesting. It's quite interesting, but because you can drive like 200 to 300 kilometers per hour, and the rate of accident is lower than other parts of the world. And also the Brandenburg Gate and German Shepherd. Turkey, while hardly fought its existence in the Arab place, has decided to draw a national flag because it's been attacked many times, and also the silhouette of Istanbul together with the bridge, the Maiden's Tower, and also Hagia Sophia, and also again Mausoleum of Atatürk in Ankara. And another flag of Serbia depicted the portrait of Nikola Tesla, one of the most important scientists in the early 20th century, and also important names for the fancy electric cars sold worldwide. Iran drew one of the columns still standing in the city of Persepolis, and also the tomb of the Cyrus the Great, the founder of Achaemenid dynasty, and also the Azadi Tower located in the middle of the metropolis of Tehran, and also the silhouette of the country itself together with the Gulf and also the little bit of Caspian Sea. In the second box of India, the drawer decided to make the rocket from ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, a peacock, which is obviously a male because the male bird is called peafowl, and this one is a Meenakshi temple, one of the important temples in Hinduism, located in the south in the state of Tamil Nadu. Taj Mahal, most people know, and also the intricately decorated elephant used in a procession, the holidays, and also in important religious ceremonies. And this one is Albania together with the best friend Kosovo, a little bit here, and this is depicted the head of Skanderbeg. Skanderbeg is the most important figure in Albanian history. He fought against the Ottoman Empire throughout his life. This is a flag of the United Arab Emirates. There is a silhouette right here, a little bit. Ukraine is the explosion of the intricate design within its flag. Instead of showing only two colors, the Ukrainian drawers decided to draw something like wheat on the golden part on below, and also the intricate design of like crochet on top. And together with the portrait of the Vladimir Zelensky, the current president of Ukraine, and together with the Antonov AN-225 Maria, the largest commercial airplane in the world, which recently destroyed during the war, and also some drawings of Lavra, the painting of the ghost of Kiev, and also the Bayraktar drones as well. But Bayraktar is a product of Turkey. So there's an interesting linkage between all these drawings around. While this portrait explanation is just writing something about Cossack, it looks really similar with a famous writer and poet of Ukraine, Taras Shevchenko. He lived in around like 19th century, an important like defender of the Ukrainian languages, because of the most people in Ukraine, even until recently, spoke mainly Russian in everyday life. And above the emblem of the national emblem of Ukraine is the symbol of a Crimean Tatar. I talked about the Crimean Tatar recently. Maybe there's a link appear somewhere. Instead of showing the emblem of the country, which showed the Saladin eagle together with the shield, Egyptian Redditors decided to draw a pyramid instead, and also the little drawing of a sphinx on the top. Supposedly, sphinx look right here because like to guard the necropolis, and together with the Eye of Horus, the Ankh, the Islamic crescent, and also the Christian cross. Dominican Republic drew so small. Dominican Republic drew Dominican Republic drew outline of the country, and together with one unrelated character, and also what is this thing? Plantains. Plantains. Actually, plantains is kind of like close descendants of banana, and people don't eat plantains directly. Usually being fried, as a chip, or cutting into big pieces and just dumping into oil. Delicious. And there's a little flags of Mongolia, South Korea, and Japan sits next to each other. While the Nordic countries decided to group together and draw anything Scandinavian, Nordic countries, for example, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Greenland right here, Faroe Island with all the outlines, and a little bird puffin next to the Iceland, and also Åland Island. Åland Island is actually part of Finland. Let's start with Norway. This is the king of Norway. This is a portrait of a king of Norway, King Harald. This is the champion chess player Magnus Carlsen, and the famous screaming portrait perfectly located in between of them. And this is the depiction of the Viking ship and also the oil industry, the major export of Norway. For Denmark, under the coat of arms, the emblem of the country is the portrait of the Queen of Denmark, Queen Margaret II, smoking. Meanwhile, Sweden decided to draw the emblem of the country, the three crowns, and also one traditional house right here with a traditional design, a hat, and also in the middle between the Norway and Sweden is the Sami flag. Sami is like indigenous people who live in the northern part of the northern countries. Like they are like nomadic people who are herding reindeers for living. And this is the portrait of the King Carl XVI Gustav, together with a very Volvo car, a tiger, and also a traditional wooden horse. While Finland decided to draw the current president of Finland, Sauli Niinisto, and the long-time former president of Finland, Urho Kekkonen. There is an interesting history about Urho Kekkonen. He is a president of Finland during the Cold War. So much so that the location of the geography of Finland strapped between the NATO-led America in the west and also the Warsaw Pact Soviet-led in the east. As such, the Urho Kekkonen make like appeasement policies, which makes that any dissidents or any opposition voice of Soviet Union were quickly suppressed, which makes him quite a really debatable figure. Some people say that Urho Kekkonen is like the defender of the Finnish independence, whereas other like just simply say that he is just appeaser of any Soviet policy. In fact, there was a Soviet naval base right in Port Kala until the 60s or 70s. And this is all the famous characters for the cartoon, including this one, Angry Bird. Whee! And another flag of Denmark, sided with much more famous Denmark brand, Lego. There is a really tiny flag of Luxembourg. Luxembourg is a country located between Belgium, France, and Germany on three sides. And it's actually quite a small country together with the iconic bridge in the middle of the capital city. And next to it is the flag of Belgian community of Luxembourg. Originally, Luxembourg is much bigger than what it is today, and part of the country has been like taken up and becoming part of Belgium. Italy decided to draw Michelangelo's David, something with coffee, Colosseum, the Roman imperial symbol, two hands. Actually, this drawing is not located in Italy proper, but in Sistine Chapel of the Vatican City. And also the outline of the whole country, including the island of Sicily and Sardinia, and most importantly, the authentic, the real, the original pizza margherita. Pizza margarita's ISO standard is longer to read its specific requirements rather than to cook it. And of course, people can easily make a pizza margarita like the ingredient and such, but the freshness of the ingredient, the authenticity, and also the preparation way is so intricate. It is hard and difficult to find any authentic pizza and margarita outside Italy or some of the countries who learn the pizza in proper way. And another smaller version of the Mexican flag showing the Chichen Itza, one of the ancient Maya towns in the state of Yucatan, and also mariachi band. And this is a small flag of Puerto Rico. There is another part where there is a much bigger flag of Puerto Rico, and wow, United Kingdom. United Kingdom has placed it NHS first before all the constituent states in the country: England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and the flag of Cornwall. Together with the Yorkshire Tea in the so below, and also the Palace of Westminster where the British Parliament convened, together with the big London Eye, and also the famous Royal Guard, and a little bit of Freddie Mercury in the corner. And this is the Beatles in the Abbey Road, the album cover. While in the upper part of this canvas, the Netherlands took quite a lot here, starting with the railways car, which is quite iconic, blue and yellow. And what is interesting here, the shape. Actually, this shape is depicted in another painting down here, right here. The painting of the 7 provinces of the Netherlands. The big painting, actually just nearby down. So this is just a much more clearer version, and the upper one is like a mini version of the traditional shape. So what the shape is talk about is that the Netherlands is used to be ruled under the Spanish rule, the Habsburg Empire. I mean, when the Spanish control over the Low Countries for the Netherlands start to loosen up, the Dutch people start to ask for eventual independence, and such the war between these two countries. Just to make the thing short, finally the Netherlands won their independence and later become one of the most important maritime power in the history of the age of exploration between 15th century until and these are the silhouette of the overseas territories of the Netherlands, and also the constituent state of the Netherlands, which all located in the Caribbean, or Aruba, Curacao, Saint Martin, and also the famous painting of the girl with the pearl earring by Johannes Vermeer. And next to it is a really big portrait of Kemal Atatürk, and also another drawing by Osman Hamdi Bey. And it did not end there. Actually, the Netherlands continue up until the end of the painting. This one is the William of Orange, and also the outline of the country, and also the famous painting of the Starry Night together with its painter Vincent van Gogh, the famous houses of Amsterdam, the traditional windmill, and most important to highlight at all, bicycle. Netherlands is often depicted as the poster picture of the country with high bikeability. It's livable, no cars around, safe for children and such. And interestingly enough, how Netherlands become like a bicycle country is that it begin with the civil disobedience of the construction of the new metro line and the failed attempt to build really ugly interstate highway circling the old city of Amsterdam. And after like several years, actually cars still a dominant mode of transportation in the Netherlands, by the way, with 52% of the daily transport. But since a lot of people in the city taking bicycle to work, to school, to shop, to go anywhere, it makes the city much more livable, and also the space can be used optimizely instead of making this big ugly parking lot. The place can be used for other purposes, for example parks, which is abandoned, abandoned throughout the Netherlands. Slovakia also draw really intricately designed with the love shape across its flag, and together with the famous Tatra tram and the cable car. Slovakia with the next door neighbor. Yeah, Czech Republic. And there used to be one country called Czechoslovakia. After that, break up, independence, and they make their own way. Czech Republic decided to draw a silhouette of the city of Prague, and also the famous Charles Bridge, and also the hop to make beer. Another ancient remnant of Austria-Hungary today is Austria and Hungary independently, showing some interesting stuff here. For example, the train OBB railjet, and also some pastry here. What's the name of pastry again? It's not pastry, it's fast food. And all the states launder in the country of Austria. And next door is Hungary. Perhaps from all these symbols, from Hungarian foxes, Lake Balaton, the mini-map of the greater Hungary is this one. This is actually the poster picture of the all things Hungarian, the Hyde the Pen Herald. His real name is Andras Arato. He's actually a retired engineer, and because of the boredom or just want to fill the time, he agreed to be part of a photo shoot model for the stock photo, and that's why his face ended up in many places. While Spain draws quite a lot of the monumental buildings, for example, the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, the ancient Roman aqueduct of Segovia, the Giralda Tower in Seville, in any old buildings here, or maybe food, the Spanish omelette. Together with some characters related with Spain and also unrelated, like this one, and another food, and also this ship, the Spanish caravel. Spanish caravel is important in Spanish history because this type of ship is able to sail far away across the Atlantic Ocean into the New World, and also across the Pacific Island from Mexico all the way to the Philippines. And that's how the expansion of the Hispanic culture in the New World started. The nearby Portugal also drew another type of ships called caravel. Caravel is used to sail across the Atlantic Ocean. That's how Portuguese found Brazil, and also that's how Portuguese found a way to the Southeast Asia to buy the spices, to sell all over Europe, and eventually to colonize the whole thing. That's how the age of exploration sparked the age of European colonization in Africa, in Asia, and also the whole Americas. Of some writers, and this one is the statue of Don Alfonso Henriquez, the king that initiated the exploration of to the outside world. North Macedonia, with a bright sign, also included the statue of Alexander the Great, who was born in the area of what now today Northern Macedonia. And actually the actual flag didn't have the statue and also the pedestal. Brazil decided to draw Cristo del Rei, which stood on the sugar mountain in Rio, and also this is a type of alcohol or what? 51. Yes, alcohol. Why there are so many countries promoted their alcohol brand around here? And also some cute animals like this one, Vira Lata Caramello, And this one is like kind of like look like Sugarloaf Mountain, and this road like Iguazu Falls. Is it look like a waterfall? Probably, perhaps. A toucan, a tree called Ipe Amarelo, and last but not least, a shared common heritage between Brazil and Argentina down here is the World Cup. And one of the shared common heritage of Brazil and Argentina is the passion for football. This is the World Cup, by the way. Argentina decided to not only show one sun, but 1, 2, 3, 4 suns, some cartoons, mate, some drinks, and also Andes Mountains. Paraguay is drawing a little down here together with the proper flag of Paraguay, and also this one is a Bolivia. This is another drawing of Germany, like bisecting the Belgian one that made the longer one, and German shows the cultural channels Arte, Kinder Joy for some reason, Doner Kebab. This the Doner Kebab, a Volkswagen car, and also another Volkswagen car. Reichstag, a monument to commemorate 1864 Prussian victory of the German reunification with the little stars on top. Neuschwanstein Castle, and two of famous German figures. One is Ludwig van Beethoven, and another one is a famous scientist Albert Einstein. More famous with his scientific theory rather than this crazy photo of him showing his tongue. Tunisia is right here next to the famous drawing of a Japanese block printing, and Morocco shows one of the towers of the Hassan II Mosque located in Casablanca, and another small box of island, and another drawing of Thailand, which is this one is much better than before. Even though small, they show white elephant, the nickname of the country, and also the whole outline of the country. And New Zealand, instead of drawing the Southern Cross with the Union Jack in the upper left part, decided to draw the Maori flag together with the kiwi with the laser. Actually, this is the genuine proposal of changing of the New Zealand flag, the kiwi with the laser. Why this flag didn't choose as a winner is beyond my imagination. And interesting enough, Quebec drawing here is much bigger than the whole of Canada, just like in the left part of the canvas. It's so big. This is one is René Lévesque, the Premier of Quebec from 1976 until 1985. He pushed the more autonomy to the Quebec province, to protection of the French language, the protection of the French heritage, and blah blah blah. And that makes that's make Quebec like the bastion of the French culture from the rest of the Anglophone Canada. And interesting enough is that quite a number of the Canadian symbols and also public figures it actually come from Quebec. Canadian maple leaf, for example, maple is mainly produced in Quebec, 80% of the whole production in Canada. And the current Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, is actually originated from Quebec himself, and also his father, the former Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Quite a lot of Canadian things actually originated in Quebec, and this group decided to do things on their own. And there's the bigger drawing of Bolivia here, showing the Andes Mountain again, Mount Illimani, and other things we can click right here. This is a big another empanada. Every South American countries try to show that their empanadas is the best in the whole continent. It's the flag of Algeria, together with the Berber flag down here, and this is small Armenian flag, and Puerto Rican flag, a vandalized Brazilian flag. Who made this thing? And another from Portugal, together with the word of hero something. Number 7 is obviously Messi, and number 7 is obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, with the Portuguese flag and also the Argentinian flag. Greek decided to draw the buildings with the blue roof and whitewash wall of Santorini, and the ancient Greek trireme. The head, what you say? Is a wrote here is a Corinthian helmet, and olive tree, important ingredient for Mediterranean cooking, and also the whole island of Cyprus. And this is the country of Honduras. And there's a one drawing of Saudi Arabia with the date palm, the two swords, the emblem of the country, with the coffee, and also some little Pepe in Arabic dress together with top and kafia. Bulgaria, together with the flag, draw one of the important figure in the history, which is Hristo Botev. And this one is the flag of Poland, together with an attempt to attack it and also to protect it. There are two Polish flags, and also the flag of Israel right here with somehow far related Mega Man X. And this one is Costa Rica. Is it called? Yeah, Costa Rica. Costa Rica shows any description right here? Mr. Robot, who is this? And there's a little ASEAN logo right here next to Myanmar flag and also Reddit flag as well. And interesting enough, other ASEAN countries are like scattered throughout the map, like Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, Indonesia. Nowhere to be seen nearby Myanmar for some reasons. Venezuela drew the famous Angel Falls, the tallest waterfall in the world, and also another empanadas. Every South American countries tried to convince everyone in the world that their empanadas is the best, together with an attempt to reconcile the two hostile countries, which oddly enough, both are the members of NATO. And there's another drawing of the Baltic countries right here. And this is the drawings of the northern Cyprus. Interesting enough, there is no flag of Cyprus, but Cyprus is the Greek part is depicted as part of Greece, whereas the Turkish part of the Cyprus is depicted with its own flag. And this one is Montenegro. And another drawing by the Turkish Redditors. This one is Fatih Sultan Mehmed, who conquered Constantinople in the year 1453. This is the flag of Georgia, with nearby the flag of Armenia with some group of Twitch streamer, I think. And another little flag of many countries, for example Argentina, Colombia, Italy, Peru, Cuba, I guess. And another one is, what country is this? And lastly, almost the end of the whole red place canvas is the drawing of the United States of America, together with all things yelling loudly freedom. For example, this is a red bald eagle and F-22 fighter jet, San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, monumental arc of St. Louis, the Washington Monument, the Washington Monument in Washington, of course, and some of the Rocky Mountains, One World Trade Center, and lastly is the loudest form of freedom ever, the Statue of Liberty. After exploring all these countries that existed in the Reddit place canvas, there are some things that we can learn upon what we can see. It unleashed the human creativity in such a limited space, in such a small box, what people can gather upon and show the whole world what they can do, what they can provide, what they can make upon in just such a limited space, in limited time. Only 4 days for these whole things. And also there are some drawings that they already been erased or being overdrawn by other paintings in the later times. It also highlighted the important figures, important monuments, important places, and also empanadas in South American countries. So, do you think which countries has the best empanadas of all places? And such, in this limited space, there are some infightings, there are some attempts to defend it, and this is actually reflected in the real world. And such, the world is actually just a limited space to fulfill the unlimited desire of power, the unlimited desire of resources, the unlimited desire of anything that human want to. As such, people will fight if people will argue upon or even cooperate and work together. That's why there are wars. That's why there are fightings and conflicts around the world, and there are also some cooperation. There are also some alliances, and there is why there are some there are organizations that move around and also like try to gather everyone to work together, because if you're fighting like this, nobody wins. But if you try to cooperate together, there are some groups or some countries like going together to defend their box, and that's why they can survive until the end of the ready place. And this is all like reflection of ourselves. What happened in a ready place for 4 days is actually what we are doing in the world for the last thousands of years.